Hey Falcons fans! And listen, I've got some explosive information that's gonna shake you to your core about what's really happening in Flowery Branch right now. We're talking about coaching hot seats getting scorching hot, franchise quarterbacks throwing more picks than touchdowns, and front office moves that'll make your head spin faster than a Bijan Robinson touchdown run. But here's the thing that's got me fired up. There's a massive story brewing behind the scenes that nobody's talking about, and I'm about to expose everything that's happening in the building right now. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna understand why the next 3 games could literally determine the entire future of this franchise. But wait, before I drop these bombshells that could change everything you think you know about the Falcons season, I need you to do one thing right now. If you consider yourself part of the real Falcons nation, the fans who bleed red and black, who've stuck through every heartbreak and celebrated every victory, then smash that subscribe button like your playoff hopes depend on it. Because what I'm about to reveal is exclusive content that only the most dedicated fans deserve to know. Don't be one of those fans scrolling through the comments later asking, "What did I miss?" Join the inner circle right now and let's build the strongest Falcons community on YouTube together. Hit that notification bell because the next 48 hours are going to be absolutely insane for this franchise. Before we dive headfirst into this absolute chaos that's consuming our organization, you need to smash that subscribe button right now because we are your only source for the real inside scoop on what's happening with our beloved birds. I'm talking about information that other channels won't touch, sources that other creators don't have, and analysis that cuts through all the corporate spin and media nonsense. And please hit that notification bell because things are moving at lightning speed in Atlanta right now, and you do not want to miss a single development as this situation unfolds. Every day brings new drama, new revelations, and new shocking developments that could change everything. Also, if you appreciate this kind of raw, unfiltered truth about our team, drop a comment below and let me know what you think is going to happen next. I read every single comment, and your insights help shape these discussions. Alright Falcons faithful, let's talk about the absolutely massive elephant in the room, and that elephant just got completely trampled by a humiliating, soul-crushing, absolutely devastating 30-0 loss to our division rivals that has everyone in the organization scrambling like they're running from a 5-alarm fire that's consuming everything they've worked for. Raheem Morris just made his most desperate and boldest move yet, and I'm telling you right now with absolute certainty, this is either going to completely save his coaching career or be the final nail hammered into his professional coffin. The man just straight up fired wide receivers coach Zach Hilliard, and when I tell you this move has sent shockwaves rippling through every corner of that locker room, I mean it's like a devastating earthquake just hit the foundation of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But here's what's got me absolutely livid and ready to throw hands about Morris's press conference comments. He had the audacity to stand up there and say it was performance-based. Performance-based? Are you kidding me right now, coach? Let me tell you something. If we're really talking about making performance-based decisions around here, then we need to have a serious, no-holds-barred conversation about what's happening with our entire offensive system from top to bottom. And speaking of performance that makes you want to scream into a pillow, let's talk about our supposed franchise quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the 8th overall pick who was supposed to be our savior. Our knight in shining armor, our ticket to the promised land, hasn't thrown a single touchdown since week 1. Week 1, Falcons Nation. That's like buying a brand new Ferrari and driving it exclusively in first gear for 3 straight weeks while everyone passes you on the highway. This man threw not 1 but 2 soul-crushing interceptions against the Panthers, including a pick-6 that was so embarrassing, so absolutely painful to watch, that it made me want to throw my remote control straight through my television screen and then set the whole thing on fire. His passer rating of 40.5 was so catastrophically bad that I've literally seen high school quarterbacks in Friday night scrimmages put up better numbers while playing with a torn ACL. But here's the real insider information that's got everyone in that building absolutely panicked and losing sleep at night. Our entire receiving core hasn't caught a single touchdown this season. Not one. Think about that for a second. We're averaging 14 points per game, which is embarrassing enough, but 0 touchdown catches from our receivers and tight ends? That's not just bad coaching, that's systematic failure at every single level. Drake London, who we all thought was going to be our next Julio Jones, our next superstar receiver who would carry this offense for years to come, has been practically invisible on the field. It's like he's playing in some kind of alternate dimension where footballs just pass right through his hands. Kyle Pitts, the freak athlete tight end that we're paying millions of dollars to be our offensive weapon, might as well be running routes in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium parking lot for all the impact he's having. And now, in what can only be described as a move born from pure desperation, Morris is making offensive coordinator Zach Robinson call plays from the sideline instead of up in the coaching booth. That's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic while the ship is actively sinking into the icy depths of the Atlantic Ocean. These are the panicked, frantic moves of desperate coaches who know their jobs are hanging by a thread thinner than tissue paper. But wait, there's more dysfunction to unpack here. Robinson's absolutely puzzling decision to run our offense out of the pistol formation isn't doing Penix any favors whatsoever. It's like trying to fix a broken engine by painting the car a different color. It might look different, but the fundamental problems are still there, rotting away at the core of everything we're trying to accomplish. But hold on to your jerseys because it gets even worse. A.J. Terrell, our supposed lockdown cornerback who's supposed to be shutting down elite receivers across the NFL, is still sitting out with a hamstring injury for the second consecutive game. In a league where you absolutely live and die by the strength and depth of your secondary, we're rolling into Washington, D.C. with D. Alford trying desperately to hold down the fort against professional athletes who make millions of dollars to catch footballs. Meanwhile, there's at least some potentially good news on the injury front. Wide receiver Casey Washington has finally been cleared to play after working his way through the league's concussion protocol for the past few weeks. But one receiver coming back doesn't fix the fundamental problems plaguing this entire offensive system. And here's the absolutely ironic twist that's got me more heated than a July afternoon in Georgia. We're facing Marcus Mariota this Sunday. Marcus Mariota, the exact same quarterback we had on our roster in 2022 who we couldn't wait to show the door. Now he's starting for Washington because their rookie sensation Jaden Daniels is hurt. And I absolutely guarantee you that Mariota is going to be motivated to show Arthur Blank and this entire organization exactly what they let walk out that door. Here's what's really happening behind those closed doors at the facility that the mainstream media absolutely refuses to tell you because they're too busy protecting their access and maintaining their relationships. Arthur Blank is completely done with this culture of mediocrity that has infected every level of this organization. 8 consecutive seasons without making the playoffs? The man who built this franchise from nothing into a legitimate championship contender is watching his life's work and investment crumble faster than a house of cards in a Category 5 hurricane. Morris knows his time is running dangerously short, and these increasingly desperate moves prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that he can see the writing on the wall. Firing position coaches mid-season, completely changing play-calling procedures and locations, shuffling personnel like he's dealing cards at a Las Vegas casino. These aren't the calculated moves of a confident head coach with a long-term plan. These are the absolute panic moves of a man who can feel the ground crumbling beneath his feet. The defensive side of the ball has shown some legitimate improvement, which is honestly the only thing keeping Morris's job barely intact right now. But the complete breakdown in rapport and chemistry between Penix and the entire receiving corps has been catastrophically worse than anything we've ever witnessed in Atlanta. These guys look like they've never practiced together, like they're speaking completely different languages on the field. You can see it in the players' body language, in their post-game interviews, in the way they interact on the sidelines. There's a disconnect, a fundamental breakdown in trust and communication that goes way deeper than just X's and O's on a whiteboard. When your franchise quarterback and your supposed playmakers can't get on the same page after multiple weeks of practice and game action, that's not just a coaching problem, that's an organizational culture problem. But here's my absolutely bold prediction for this crucial Sunday matchup against Washington. This is either going to be the miraculous game where everything suddenly clicks and we finally see the real potential of this talented roster, or it's going to be the absolute final straw that completely breaks Arthur Blank's legendary patience. There's absolutely no middle ground here, no room for moral victories or we played better moral victories. This game against Mariota and the Commanders is literally a referendum on Morris's future, on Penix's development, on Robinson's offensive system, and on the entire direction of this franchise moving forward. Win, and maybe we can build some momentum heading into our bye week. Lose, especially to a backup quarterback we used to employ, and I genuinely believe we could see major changes before we even get to week 6. The pressure is absolutely immense, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the margin for error has completely disappeared. This is championship or bust territory, playoff or pink slip time, and every single person in that building knows it. Falcons Nation, We are standing at the most important crossroads this franchise has faced in years. This organization is either going to rise from these ashes like a magnificent phoenix spreading its wings, or we're going to watch another promising season go down in absolutely devastating flames. But I'll tell you one thing with absolute certainty, I'm going to be here every single step of the way, bringing you the unfiltered truth that nobody else has the courage to tell you. Make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on, because next week I've got absolutely exclusive behind-the-scenes information about potential coaching changes that's going to completely blow your mind and change how you see this entire situation. And don't forget to smash that like button if you want more real, honest talk about our birds. Until next time, keep bleeding red and black, stay loyal through the storm, and remember, through the good times and the absolutely brutal times, we're Falcons Nation, and we never, ever give up. Go Falcons!